think we're live. We are live. Oh my goodness. Hello, everyone. How's it going? Let me make sure that the audio is working. This is an entirely new setup here, and I haven't streamed in a while, other than on my phone, which I've since deleted. Let me know if you can't hear me. Thank you to the people that are here right now. Joyce, hello. Let's see. Teresa, hello. Blue Moon, Vanessa, Susan. Fem, how's it going? Good to see you. Joyce, John, Angela, Coffee Buzz, good afternoon. Lene, good to see you. Good to see you. Jen Lou, midnight in Wales, and I am buzzing. Well, I hope you get some good sleep tonight. If you need to watch the replay, if you feel the need to, feel free. We are just catching up. So I don't know if this is going to be a long stream or a short stream, but I'm going to go ahead and actually take my pinned comment off real quick. Unpin. I'm going to do one thing here real quick. I'm going to pin the... Lene says the volume is low. Okay, I'll turn it up, Lene. Turning up, turning up, turning up. Hopefully this is better. I feel like my mic should be louder though. Okay, if it's too loud, let me know. I'm going to go ahead and pin the Google Voice number. If you would like to give me a call, feel free. We're catching up on the Summer Wells case. I'm going to show a video in a moment. First, I want to say thanks to the level 2 supporters. It has been a while since we've streamed here, but thank you guys for being level 2 supporters. And as well as Linda. Linda is a new level 2 supporter. So Linda, thank you for joining before the stream even started. That is awesome. You guys are great. So as you're joining, hit the like button on the way in. Let's get the stream out there. YouTube is probably not super happy with my channel right now. I have been MIA for the better part of a month and a half. And so algorithmically speaking, they're probably not going to be pushing this out to too many people. So that like button definitely helps. I'm going to check the sound levels here. Lorraine from Canada. Good to see you, Lorraine. Let's see. Who else is in here? Child of God. I can't believe she hasn't been found yet. So sad. Yeah. My May. Oh, wow. The Hills Have Eyes and Ben Hill Has Lies. Wow. Wow. Crazy. Steve, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. All right. I was saying hey to everyone at Cat. Yay, welcome back. Are you all moved? Hope you and beautiful wife are doing well. Yes, we are all moved. This behind me, this current setup is the temporary setup. We just got the office situated, so that whole half of the office is out of frame. That's where beautiful wife has her office space, and then I'm going to kind of figure out what I want to go on the wall. It's kind of nice not having the big window behind me anymore. We have an actual space for an office as opposed to a little office in the living room. So it's good to be back. Let's see. Hey, Michelle Moore. Good to see you. Thank you for being here, Michelle. A lot of work. Yeah, it's a ton of work getting all this together. Let me just show. Well, I can't really show the setup, but I put a thing on my community post the other day. But I'm pretty happy with where it's at. The lights are not exactly where I want them. There's some glares happening on my glasses, but I'll refine it as we go along. So anyways, cheers to you guys. Thanks for being here. Like I said, it's going to be kind of a catch-up stream. So if there's anything around the Summer Wells case that I have missed in my time away, feel free to call in on the Google Voice number and chime in and say hey and fill me in on what I've missed. I want to show you guys something that I came across today. So I came across several channels that had noted this specific thing that I'm about to show. I'm going to mention it. I'm going to show it a couple of times throughout this, but I want to show it real quick. Evil Exists, the channel Evil Exists is the first channel that I saw that highlighted this, but I wanted to show you guys as well. So I made this little video here speaking on Jody Sue. So that right there is obviously Jody Sue. I paused the video. You can see there she is leaning against the yellow Xterra, I think is what they're called, which is a Nissan vehicle. So I paused that there. And then as the video goes on, you can see what looks like a red truck. So I went ahead and paused the video here and added some sharpening, or, you know, some different contrast and brightness to this image. Let me go ahead and move it over and show you guys. This is the original image from the video. I'm not entirely sure where this video came from. Someone driving by where Jody Sue is standing by this Xterra, this Nissan Xterra. That's clearly Jody Sue. And then, like I said, this image, I went ahead and screen grabbed it and then brightened it, and it appears to be a red truck. So just pointing that out. And then if we go to the actual infamous video that we all know of Summer Wells dancing next to the red barrel with the for sale sign on it, you look what you can see in the background of this shot. It is none other than an Xterra, almost identical, or the same Xterra that was in the shot of Jody Sue. So obviously you have Candace and Jody, who are claiming to not be super close friends by any stretch of the word. And maybe Jody Sue is hanging out with Candace during this. There's a lot of conspiracy around Jody Sue being connected to this in some way or another. It's odd how when Candace was talking a lot more a few months ago, she was on somebody's YouTube channel. I don't even remember who now at this point, but she had said that she has a problem with Jody Sue. She had listed all of her, all the people that she was suspicious of, and she had mentioned Jody Sue, which is strange. Everyone seems to be throwing everyone under the bus, but this is clearly Jody Sue here, leaning against the yellow Xterra. So once again, I mean, that is clearly the same car there. So yeah, actually, you know what's funny? I don't even know if this. So this would be Jody Sue's vehicle on the Wells property, unless this red tank. I know this red tank, this barrel was here when Chris McDonough was on the property, but they could have been on Jody Sue's property here, possibly. I don't remember seeing this cracked concrete right here. Maybe we'll have to go back and look at the interview rooms video. Michelle Moore says, so funny, it looks a bit more burgundy than that picture. There's no red tire, and I heard there are two different cars. And oh, Jody Sue clarified this. Okay. Thanks, Fem. No tire on one of them? What do you mean? Cheryl, good to see you, by the way. Dudley's yellow Xterra is off-roaded edition, not the same year as the one parked in front of Jody's camper. Oh, interesting, Connie. Interesting. See, you guys are so ahead of it right now. I don't know whose this is, though. So who is Jody Sue leaning against? Like, whose Xterra is this, you know? Because clearly there's the same. I mean, this is no doubt up here an Xterra, a Nissan Xterra. So there's some sort of a connection there. There's for sure some sort of a connection. Anyway, so I just wanted to show that. Maybe I'll show it. Oh, unless I missed it, one of the cars had no back tire. Oh. Let's look at that again real quick. There's Jody Sue. So we've got a tire there. There's definitely a tire there. I don't know if you're referring. Oh, maybe I need to move this up. Hold on. You can see the top of the rim here. Yeah, there's definitely a tire on that one. I see 2 tires on this side. And then, yeah, I mean, it looks like there's probably 2 tires here. It's kind of hard to tell. Tracy says Jody Sue definitely has some info in my opinion. I completely agree. Jody Sue's always seemed suspicious to me. Lene says, and yellow vehicles are not that common, especially in Xterra. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's not just a coincidence. I mean, there's some connection to Jody Sue in the Red Barrel video. Who knows? The Wells maybe owned that vehicle at one point, and then now Jody Sue owns it. Like, who knows? I don't know the exact connection, but yeah, you're right, Lene. They're not super common cars. So a lot has happened since the last time I streamed. Obviously, I have streamed since the 1 year mark of Summer Wells being missing. But to kind of go through everything, obviously the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation tweeted back on June 15th. I've only really streamed like twice since then, and one of the times was for the Gabby Petito Brian Laundrie notebook confession that they released, that Brian had written. And so I haven't been able to really catch up, but since streaming last, we have gotten, obviously the 1 year mark has happened. We've gotten no real signs of Candace that I'm aware of. And then we have a search by private investigators on the property using different pieces of technology, drones, things like that. Who's hiring the private investigator? Are you guys aware of who the private investigator is and who is funding it? I looked up this guy right here, Chris Starnes. He has a little company that does drone deployments to search for missing people, essentially. I don't know if he was just doing this for free or if he was being paid. I don't know who these private investigators are being hired by. But this was around the time of the prayer vigil. I didn't really look too much into all of that around that time. I was traveling, and so I wasn't sure how big. Maybe we could look it up, what was going on during the prayer vigil. See if we can see a video from that. Haley Taylor, good to see you. Hey, from Kansas City. Okay, so wow, there is a Hawkins County News has a video, like a 30-minute video about the prayer vigil.
I can only imagine what my eyes will see when your face is before me. I can only imagine. I can only imagine.
I can't tell what these shirts say, but I think this is Summer Wells' face on them. Yeah. Let me see what you guys are saying here.
Father, we are here to represent you well.
Okay, so yeah. You know, that's a good point, Alex. I wonder if Candace showed up to the prayer vigil. Don sure didn't. Yeah, anyways. Not that Don could. And we'll talk about Donnie Boy here in a little bit. Like I said, tap that like button on the way in, guys. Let's try to get to 100 likes. Haley, how was the move? The move went well. It was a lot of work, but it went well. Thanks for asking. Birdie's Crime Chat. Hello. Good to see you. Butterfly. Candace didn't go to the vigil. She told me she wasn't going. Oh, she told you, huh? Okay. Interesting. We've got insight, first-hand experience. Someone told, or Candace told Butterfly that she's not going. Why wouldn't she? I don't know. Aaron, have they ever tried to contact a psychic? That I'm not sure of. I have no idea what kind of efforts they've gone to beyond what they've done so far, which is not much. I wanted to read this before I get into Dawn's jailhouse letter. McBro says no one from the family showed up for them. Interesting. Well, we'll get to Dawn's jail letter that came out fairly recently in a moment. I just thought it was interesting. This is from the findsummerwells.com page, which I believe is ran by Tim Mullen. I just want to read this. So this is the day, June 15th, 2021, the words of Candace Bly Wells, mother of missing Summer Wells. I just thought this was interesting, and I haven't ever gone through this whole thing and read this. And I started to read this today, and I thought, let me just read this on stream. It's just so specific and descriptive in a way that's just too, I don't know, it's just a little odd. So I'm going to read through it. Quote, we come home. It just starts with that. We come home, and then me and my mom, the boys, which, hold on. The day. It's titled The Day, June 15th, 2021. And she starts with, we come home. So it's like she's avoiding everything that happened prior to coming home, which is going to go, take Candace to the hospital for her appointment and going to Walgreens to pick up the prescription afterwards, picking up Hunter, going to the swimming hole, going to get vapes and hard iced teas, whatever, twisted teas, those kinds of things. She's leaving out the Sonic trip, the priceless trip. It's odd to me that she starts with, we come home. It's almost like get to the point of Summer being home and Summer going missing and everything that happened in between that, which is I was being perfect and nothing that I could have done could have led to that. It's weird that she skipped everything. This shouldn't be called the day. It should be called the evening when she went missing. But anyways, let me read. It says, we come home and then me and my mom, the boys were watching YouTube like they always do. My mom says, let's rearrange and plant the flowers. She goes, well, the boys aren't going to help us. I know Summer will. So I yelled for Summer. She was in the house with the boys. She comes out and she was planting flowers with us. The flowers were put in planters next to Grandma Candy's camper, with Summer handling some of the tasks. She put all the rocks on top and put Chase in there. She did all the rocks herself. I think she's talking about that little toy that Chris McDonough saw in the top of the flowers. Anyways, I'll get to some of your guys' comments as well in a moment. So thank you guys for chiming in and leaving your guys' opinions on what's going on. All right. Anyways, she asked Grandma for a piece of candy. Grandma gave her a piece of candy. She told me she wanted to go back over with her brothers, so I literally walked her halfway between the camper and the house. Weird wording here. I literally walked her. It's like a defensive thing. Like, I literally did this. I watched her go in the door, and I could see her brothers at the kitchen table. When she went in, I walked over and yelled at the boys. I said, watch Summer. So she did say that to Chris, that she yelled at the boys to watch Summer. But once again, we all know how I feel about that in terms of Candace not being a helicopter mom. I don't think that is true at all. She said, I'll be right back. I've got to go fix Mom's knee brace. I don't think that Candace was letting the boys, or Summer for that matter, know about every single one of her moves that she was making on that property. I don't think If Candace had to go outside and get the Mountain Dew from the car or whatever task she may have done in her life, I don't think she told the boys or Summer, hey guys, I'm going out to the car to get the Mountain Dew. Don't move. I yelled that. Don't move. You know what I mean? Like she's saying, I yelled at the boys. I'll be right back. You know, I don't buy that at all. So the fact that she's saying that she instructed the boys to watch her and that she literally walked her over to the house and told them, I'll be right back. I've got to fix mom's knee brace. Like, I don't buy that at all. She says, I was standing right there at the camper. I was over there fixing it. Literally, you can see my house from the camper door. She did not walk back out that front door. Once again, she's saying she's putting Summer in the basement by the side door. She's saying that Summer would have had to have gone downstairs by herself. That's the story. That's part of the script of her not being at the front door, because she couldn't have been, or else she would have seen her, right? She did not walk back out that front door. She says, so I went down there and I searched. I looked everywhere I could. Then I went through the house and I kept calling for her, yelling for her, everything. I came out here outside yelling for her, and I kept calling for her, yelling for her, everything else, and she was nowhere. So I called Don because I was freaking out. I said, I can't find Summer. Get home now. He was like, call 911. So I dropped my phone because I had to run over and get mom's phone and dial 911 because her AT&T phone is the only one that works out here to call 911. Okay, so she called Dawn on her phone, and then she dropped her phone to use grandma's phone. I guess maybe she was only using Wi-Fi on her phone? I guess I'm kind of confused. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Joyce, no way she walked her in. Yeah, I agree. Angela, why would she need her knee brace fixed? She just came back from the hospital. Exactly. Taking RX opioids with Candace equals fixing knee brace. Yeah, there's definitely some people that believe that was going on. I'm pretty good. Alexa, busy summer. God, thanks. Facebook friends. All right. Like I said, I'll get to some of these comments in a moment. If you want to chime in, the number is 305-985-2690, the Google Voice number. Feel free to call in if there's anything that you want to chime in on. I'm just going to keep the phone lines on throughout the whole stream. Okay, where am I? I called Dawn. Okay, I used her phone. AT&T phone is the only one that works out here to call 911. Okay, interesting. So I called them and told them what's going on. Before the cops even came out, I went down and told my neighbors, Summer is missing. Will you help me look? Just in case she did wander off. But I knew in the back of my mind she's never wandered off. Which is another weird thing because Jose said several times that Summer wandered off. Summer would sometimes just wander into the backyard or outside, and Candace and Dawn wouldn't be paying any attention to that. So it's once again her planting this script, in my opinion. Also, I should have prefaced this entire stream by saying all of this is just my opinion. Anything I talk about as it relates to the case, especially when I'm talking about Candace and Dawn and Grandma, these are just my opinions and how I see this thing. I have a strong opinion that they have guilty knowledge, that they have knowledge as to what happened, more details as to what happened that day, and they have not released that information, and they're hiding something. That is my opinion. Anyway, she says, Summer's missing. Will you help me look? Just in case she wandered off, but in the back of my mind, I know she's never wandered off. She never went nowhere without me. Which is weird because she did apparently. She apparently went to the basement to play by herself, which is part of the story. Is she went downstairs to play by herself without you and without the boys. She'll ask me to do something before she even goes and does it. And she's scared to go in the woods herself because we've told her time and time again because of the bears and snakes. You know, they may have said that for sure. I'm not going to say they've never said be careful of the bears and snakes. But they talked about the boys going down the path with their dirt bikes, and I'm sure that Summer has chased those boys up and down the hills as well. So once again, she's saying there's no way she could have gone off into the woods. She never does that. She goes nowhere without me. She says, I sent the older boys down through the creek. If they've got a walkie-talkie and their buck knife, they can go down there. I sent all them searching, and I went out in my mom's truck and went all the way down by the church, then went all the way down the other way, and I didn't see nobody even out and about. Then I went all the way back in the holler as far as the truck can go, and I didn't see nothing back in there either. When I was coming back up out of the holler, the cops were coming up in my driveway, so I just followed them up in here. I don't recall if Don was here before the police got here or if he was here at the same time they showed up. She says, we searched everywhere we could possibly search. They were out here for 3 or 4 days straight, searching 5,000 square acres. They searched all this mountain terrain all the way down through here. They smile to put on a good show, but other than that, I know they're really upset. They ask me every day, is Summer coming home today? I think she's talking about the boys at this point. They ask me, I can't answer that. I don't know. I find myself sitting out here until midnight or 1 o'clock at night, just hoping maybe that whoever took her or whatever happened, she'll come wandering back up the driveway to us. Okay, let me just read a few of what your guys' comments are saying here, as they're coming in, because I'm curious. Alex says, friendly reminder, you can help the channel by tapping the like button. Please consider doing so. Thank you, Alex, for the reminder. Brandon says, justice for Summer Wells. Cheryl, Summer might have been malnourished and neglected. I think there's a possibility of that. Who knows? Birdie's crime chat, she called Dawn on Facebook Messenger. Yeah, that makes sense now, I guess. You would think that if your phone could connect to Wi-Fi, there would be some sort of a thing to where it could for sure digitally connect to a 911 service. You know what I mean? Like she was clearly using Facebook Messenger, but you would think if 911's being used that it wouldn't matter. Like this, I don't know. Anyways, Diane says Rhonda Jody Sue was on Facebook every day. Rhonda, I think you're saying like Rhonda. So, because Rhonda Moon says Sloan Bella did a reading 18 days after Summer went missing, and she described Jody Sue to a T, and she wasn't even on YouTube yet. Yeah, Rhonda, Jody Sue was talking about this case the moment it happened, and I made a video about Jody Sue if you guys want to check that out. It's from over a month ago now, but regardless of any sort of connection Jody Sue may or may not have, her behavior is super strange, in my opinion. Ronna Jane, hello Aaron. Hi Aaron. Hello Ronna Jane. Don said it was miraculous that their line didn't cut off. Usually it did, apparently. Interesting. We'll get to Dawn in a moment. I have my thoughts about Dawn, but I just want to reiterate. Well, no, we'll get to that in a moment. Jody Sue Brown said they were drugging her, and now it's being said she OD'd at age 3. Sunshine Country Chickens. What? Can you call in? I must not have caught that. See, this is what I'm talking about. I haven't been in the know for a while. I did hear something, I feel like, Jody Sue Brown throwing Candace under the bus, talking about them selling drugs or giving drugs to the kids and things like that. I do remember hearing something like that. So, yeah. All right. Anyways, when did Jose unalive himself? Junebug, I'm not quite sure. The Jose situation happened, I think, 2.5 months ago. Oh, Miss Kaylee says you can make emergency calls without a provider. Interesting. And My May says Summer OD'd at 3. That is tragic if that's the case. It's so sad. Excuse me. Nicole Gallant. Summer would have probably been excited to see her brothers and tell them everything she did. I don't think she would have gone to the basement ever. Was JS and Candace friends at all? Any proof of this other than her words? I'm not sure. Michelle, the video I made about Jody Sue that is, over a month old at this point. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I just think it's super weird, Jody Sue talking about how much she seems to hate her neighbors. And even like I said at the beginning of this stream, Candace immediately is throwing Jody Sue under the bus. And so it's like they had to have some sort of a connection, whether it was good or bad, for Candace to throw her name around there like that. So I don't know whether they were friends or not. Clearly the video I showed, which I'll go ahead and play this again, shows Jody Sue next to the yellow Xterra, Nissan Xterra. And it's going to be really hard to convince me that this Nissan is not the same Nissan in the background of the Red Barrel video. It's just going to take a lot to convince me otherwise. Once again, there's the red truck, a red truck, or it appears to be a red truck. My May says Jody Sue was on Candace's property many times. Well, it seems like it here for sure, because once again, as we pause the video, there is a yellow Nissan Xterra, which is not a common car, as many people have mentioned in the stream. It is definitely the same car. I mean, the way the windows are elevated like that, that's a Nissan Xterra for sure. Canadian Cookie message retracted. Brandon, when Summer's brothers get older, I hope they come out publicly and tell us Summer never made it home that day. She went missing, or at least they never saw her. I don't know what will end up happening with all that. I do think that they are part of the key to this entire thing, just because I think they know whether or not she actually planted flowers or not. We have all these timeline issues with them doing laundry. There's so many different things that don't add up, and I could go on and on about it, but it's just been a while since I've gone over all this, so I need to be reminded. Linda says, and the windows are tinted on both. That's a good point, Linda. Tinted windows there. Those appear to be tinted windows as well. Good eye. Sunshine Country says, someone call in. I can't right now. Feel free to call in if you guys want to call in. No pressure if not. Back windows are different. Slanted on one, not on the other. No, I mean, so the car's facing to the right here, where we're seeing the passenger side of the vehicle. I don't know if you're talking about this angle right here by the door, but we're seeing the driver's side here, but you can see that little notch right here as well. And there's a pole right here, so it's hard to see the angle of this back window. Different tail lights, someone says. Stacy C, so glad you're back. Thank you, Stacy. Let's see. Tail lights. Let's look at the tail lights. No, they're just long tail lights. Look. They look pretty similar to me. Big rectangular vertical taillights. Michelle Moore. Oh my gosh, Michelle, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. Sports Xterra has fifth tire on the trunk door. Oh, interesting. Okay, so right back here is what you're saying, Michelle. Michelle saying, no, hello. I don't know what you're referring to. If this is what you're referring to, Michelle. You're misunderstanding? Am I misunderstanding? Okay. The tail lights though look similar. But I don't see a tire on this truck. And once again, I'm just using this as a reference. It's just an image of one. This could be a different version. But Michelle, if oh, ding ding ding, yes, is that what you're referring to? Okay, sorry. Okay, I think earlier I was talking. I think you had mentioned something about there not being a tire. I get what you're saying now. Ding ding ding. Thank you, Michelle, and thank you for that super chat. Really appreciate that. Not talking about lights. Okay, gotcha. Anyways, it's off of there. The bracket is there. Thank you, CJ. Thank you, CJ. So I then went to Twitter to just see what people were talking about around the Summer Wells case. This person, mom of 4, tweeted, #Summer Wells, I'm a newbie. So this is somebody who's coming in July of 2022. Now think about that. For the people who've been following this case for over a year at this point, it's crazy to think that someone is just now hopping in and finding out about the Summer Wells case, but this is somebody that is. They're claiming themselves as a newbie. They're saying, after reviewing videos and audios from different sources, I really think that this little girl died on the property. Mom covered it up. I keep looking at that canoe. Perfect steps to the roof. Already under CPS radar. Cover up. My 2 cents. I hadn't heard anyone talking about the canoe and the perfect steps to the roof. But once again, this is just somebody that has already just started looking into the case, and she has the same opinion as a lot of people, with Candace knowing something, possibly covering it up. Angela with the dancing lemon. Angela, thank you so much. I wish I could have stopped by in Detroit, but alas, we were very busy. Thank you so much for the dancing lemon super sticker. You rock. Sunshine, Aaron Dudley said that's his vehicle in the rain video. Oh, he did. Okay. Dudley's Xterra also has a custom yellow plate. Okay, Connie. Thank you, Connie. Can we see the plate in this? Really hard to see. Yeah, it's really hard to see the plate. Almost impossible to see the plate on the back of that. Anyways, thank you for that comment. Cosmic Shy, I think it was JLR's interview of Dudley when Dudley said that yellow SUV in the video. Oh, okay. Aaron, if Summer was sleeping and ill the night before, I think locked up on the hill in the car, maybe overheating, child locks on car doors, Candace and Grandis sleeping off drugs. I don't know. Yeah, I do see the lack of tire. I see what we were talking about there. Killer Look says Dudley left it at Don's and rode with him that day. Interesting. Okay, so on the 21st, we have the information, or at least a lot of news outlets tweeting and talking about the letter from jail that Don Wells recently wrote. So we're going to read through that right now, and I want to get your guys' opinion. Thank you guys for hitting that like button, by the way. We have basically half the people in here that have hit the like button that are here. So thank you to half of you that have hit that like button. To the other half, consider doing it. It's free, and it's very easy to tap either with your finger if you're on a touchscreen device, or by using that mouse and hovering over the like button. Carol Brown, glad you're back. Thank you, Carol. I appreciate you stopping by. I'm going to be putting out also another community tab asking what cases I should cover soon. And I know I've mentioned it in previous live streams, but I'm going to be putting out a phone call that relates to the Delphi case that I had with somebody. It's a very interesting phone call, and so I'm actually going to get to cut that phone call up into a few different sections and put that out over the next couple weeks, because I'm going to be gone again until August 7th, but then I will be back pretty consistently, and so I'm going to put out a community post seeing what cases I should follow. There's so many people following the Dylan Rounds case. I have kind of looked into that, but I haven't obviously streamed about it or talked about it, but I'll definitely want your guys' opinion on what I should, follow here on the stream. Okay, so stay on the lookout for that, and I will be putting out those Delphi videos here soon. But until then, let's keep going. Rose at 901 Lulu tweeted, "This is the letter that Dawn Wells wrote to Summer's alleged kidnapper." Now, keep in mind, and Rose reiterates this. Let's not forget that Dawn Wells referred to Summer in the past tense almost immediately. After Summer went missing, Dawn Wells was immediately saying, we believe in an afterlife and we believe that Summer is with Jesus and all these things. He was speaking as if she was gone. And now he's speaking directly to the people who took her alleged kidnappers. So it's a bizarre change of behavior by Dawn Wells to, not even 2 weeks into Summer Wells' disappearance, be completely writing it off as if she's gone, she's dead. But then now he's writing to her alleged kidnappers. None of it makes any sense at all. Linda, how's your doc coming? Thank you. It's going really, really well. I got to get my head down and continue to work on it so it can get finished, but I appreciate you asking. But yeah, let's read the letter, because this handwriting, though it is nice, I just can't quite read it. But it is transcribed into, it's typed out, and it reads, "To the person or persons responsible for kidnapping Summer, not only have you broken Summer's heart and taken her away from her mother and father, who love her very much, but you ruined her chances to become educated, ruining her life." Very weird. He doesn't even mention the boys at all, but that's okay. He says, "You have also broke the hearts of her father." Oh, yeah, here we go. He could have mentioned it in the first sentence. "You have also broke the hearts of her father and her mother and brothers in the midst of all the commotion ruined our lives. You see, the public blames us. I don't know if we'll ever find employment again. Nobody will hire my wife, and I've been fired from a job I've had for 13 years. We may end up losing everything." Linda's emoji speaks exactly what I'm feeling right now. Dawn is sitting in jail right now for a crime that he committed that was completely unrelated to Summer going missing. I'm pretty sure he would have lost his job anyways had he gone and sat in jail for 6 months to a year. So, yeah, I don't think that's a solid point there, Don. It says, when you took our little girl, you took our very lives. Why don't you give our little girl back before God's wrath descends on you? You've broken many hearts and more, especially an innocent 5-year-old girl's heart. One day, God will hold you accountable for this crime unless you do something to make this right. Which, once again, if he's writing this currently, right now, Summer should be 6. So if he's assuming that somebody took Summer and he's wanting them to return Summer, in February, Summer turned or would have turned 6 if she was out there alive and well. I don't think she would be alive and well, but if she was alive right now, today, she would be 6. So Dawn, once again, is putting her back in June of 2021 when whatever happened to her. And like I've said, I think he knows. One day, God will hold you accountable for this crime unless you do something to make this right. Please do the right thing and turn our daughter over to the authorities. We're begging you with all of our hearts. Please do the right thing. Once again, Dawn speaking in past tense on like the 26th of June. I think he did an interview on like the 26th of June, which is like 11 days after Summer went missing, not even 2 weeks. And he's talking about how she's basically dead. Like he says, he's talking about everything's in past tense. She loved this. She used to love doing this. She loved playing on the swing. She loved this. She loved that. I see a lot of comments saying Don did not write that. People in jail can sometimes make some money writing letters for inmates. And so Don may have paid somebody, his lunch money to be able to write this. I don't know if this is Don's handwriting. I have nothing to match this handwriting to. But let's see what people are saying. Don can't drive for another year after his release. Oh, interesting. How about do the begging at the beginning of the letter? Exactly, Diane. Diane, that's a great point, because at the beginning of the letter, he's just saying it's all about him. It's all about him and his family. Of course, if your kid is taken from you, your hearts are going to be broken. Why start with that and then talk about how, I'm never going to be able to get a job again? Like, who cares? If you could get your daughter back, who cares? It starts with so much around him, and then please do the right thing, please bring her back. And he includes that last because he knows that that's not going to happen. In my opinion, I think that's why he included that last. But that's a good point. That's a good point. Vicky says, who cares about her getting behind in education when they could be getting abused, tortured, etc.? Joyce, no way Don wrote that. Alex, big words. KT says, yes, we all know Don is all about a good education for his kids. Dudley was his new work helper. He fired him immediately, so that pick couldn't have been too old. They carpooled, apparently. Yeah, I had been hearing that as well. It makes you wonder when the actual video from the barrel was taken then, because that was on Candace's Snapchat or her TikTok page. But I don't think that that's public anymore. Alex says, can you link the handwritten note? I want to analyze the handwriting. Yeah, for sure. So this Twitter link that I just put in the comments takes you to the image of Don's note that's supposedly handwritten by him. Aaron, go check out Robert InBody escaped from Kingsport Jail yesterday. Kingsport Jail. Oh, Robert InBody Kingsport Jail. Oh, wait, this is when he was sentenced. Is this what you're talking about? Fatal campfire? Huh. What happened yesterday? Kingsport man indicted, charged with assaulting TBI agents. Let me know what you're referring to there. May. What am I supposed to be looking into exactly? Did Candace stop doing YouTube channel? I believe so. So that's something that I also looked into. Candace Bly is essentially gone radio silent in the last 4 months, which is wild to think that she was so on. I feel like she was right on the edge of speaking in some of these live streams that she was doing. I feel like she was so close to breaking and saying something that maybe could have turned the case in a different direction, and then she really quieted down. M. Dijon says, Michelle, he got a DUI out one night going to get smokes, and that was in, maybe October. If you have two different writings, I have someone who might potentially compare. I can at least ask them. Oh, yeah, I wish. I mean, we've got his old letter. I think he had another letter as well, but I don't know. That could have been the same guy who wrote the first one as well. So I don't have any piece of writing from Don from prior to all of this. I'm sure someone out there does. Carol says, I read she's out of town visiting friends. Well, actually, Carol, there was a man on June 29th by the name of Don. I released his YouTube channel is Don B. And I'm going to play a little bit of his video. He supposedly ran into Candace in the morning when he was running errands. I'm going to play a little bit of his video here, and then we'll chat about it.
And I'm not going to give out the location of the city or anything like that where I seen her. But she did look healthy, and like if she's staying somewhere, they're, you know, by her the way she looked today, they're taking good care of her. I can tell you that, because she looked really good. And that's all I got to say about that. I'm not going to, because of the investigation, I'm not going to say where she's at. I can tell you the police know where she's at.
It's weird that he said, I can tell you the police know where she's at. I mean, yeah, I assume they do too.
So I did talk to them. The police do know where she's at.
Oh, wait, so did he call in the police?
I did talk to them. The police do know where she's at. And I'm gonna do a video, guys. I'm gonna do a video tomorrow, and I think you guys are gonna like it.
Okay, anyways, speaking of Candace and where she's at, someone said she's hiding out with her new girlfriend. Barb Murray says she's nesting with her new girlfriend. I'm not quite sure who she's with. I hope she's doing better. She was not in a good place. Do I think she has guilty knowledge? Absolutely. Do I hope she's doing better? Yeah, because I don't want her to die and then us not have any answers. She was not in a good place. She looked like she was on multiple, I don't know, something. She was not just drunk. At least it didn't seem like it was. That was the case. Anyways, that guy, he was driving and saw her. He called the police. Nothing to see. Yeah. I mean, his accent puts him right in Tennessee, probably. I mean, she's probably not far, and if she is, I don't know. He's got the accent. He's got the Tennessee accent. Birdie, have you or chat seen Jody Sue's ex Andy's new few videos? Interesting on some things. Birdies, I have not. If you'd like to link anything interesting, feel free to link it in the chat and I will check it out. That's what this stream is for. It's to catch up on this case. So if you have anything interesting to say or to add to the Summer Wells case, please add it in the link down below and I will check out some of the links. Just let me know in the link what you're actually linking, and then I'll know what it is when I can click on it. Also, if you'd like to call in, there's a Google Voice number linked in the pinned comment at 305-985-2690. If you want to talk about anything that we have been talking about today with the Summer Wells case, feel free to do that. Barb says she'll never get her children back, nor should she ever. Yeah, I mean, she can sober up all she wants. I mean, she's kind of at the center of this investigation, because even law enforcement has reiterated that they have no reason to believe that this was a kidnapping. So that tells you that they think it's somebody within the circle of people connected to Summer, whether it was, you know, her parents, people connected to her parents, so on and so forth. Another bit of news that I came across, and I don't know if this is entirely true, is that apparently Candace has completely left the Wells property. The trailer next to the house that was there during the interview rooms video, the tour of the property, that is reportedly gone. So that's something that's kind of interesting. Not sure the truth to that, but that's what I've heard. In a somewhat recent live stream, Chris McDonough, this kind of goes to what I was talking about with law enforcement not having any reason to believe that this was a kidnapping. Chris McDonough said that he lists 4 key suspects in his mind: Dawn, Candace, Grandis, and somebody else. He doesn't list the 4th person. Excuse me. Who is that 4th person in Chris's mind? I don't know. I think it could be It could be Jody Sue. It could be Tim Mullins. I'm not sure. It could be Hunter, but he just doesn't want to say Hunter because Hunter is a minor, or at least much younger than the other three, and he doesn't want to lump him into his main suspects. But Hunter was the only other person with them that day. Do I think he lists him as a suspect? No, but maybe part of it. I don't know. Anyways, I thought that was kind of interesting that Chris had listed for suspects. And then on July 18th, Dr. Phil released some more videos, and we can't really show any of Dr. Phil's videos because the video will get taken down. But Dr. Phil released some more of their kind of excerpts from their interview back in 2021. And the body language experts, it was kind of interesting. On their video from July 18th, at the 11 minute and 30 second mark, the body language experts start to point something out. When Greg brings up local organized crime, aka the Cornbread Mafia, Candace immediately retreats. He called it insulating and running, because she insulates by crying. She's insulating, not letting them get to her and talk to her. And I don't know, they just kind of pointed out her body language a bit more in that video, and I thought it was kind of interesting. But other than that, there's really not too much more. Barb says, Jody Sue confessed to selling drugs to minors for adults' pleasure per her own mouth. Oh, interesting. Tanya says, I'm with Candace and Grandis are keeping each other's secrets. Probably just Jody Sue, because I think Hunter was just there. Yeah, it could be Alex. Could be. Joy says, sorry, I can't deal with Phil. Brandon, was Summer Dawn and Candace's only daughter? I wonder if it's a coincidence that of Candace kids, the daughter was the only one that went missing. Also, hasn't Grandma's sister gone missing a while ago? You're right, Brandon. Rosemarie Bly went missing in 2009 in Wisconsin, which I think a lot of people, they don't forget about it, but it's super weird that they have two missing people in their family, just 2 generations apart. And we'll read about that in a second. Angela says, yeah, she doesn't cry when her daughter is missing, but she loses it over the words Cornbread Mafia. Yeah, exactly. Vicky says, Summer is the only daughter to Dawn and Candace, but they each have daughters by other people. All right, so I'm not used to talking this much, so bear with me here. I have to drink a lot of water. I haven't streamed in a while. The Reddit page, r/SummerWells, this person chimed in and said, I'm a personal investigator in another country that works with children and youth. This case, they're referring to the Summer Wells case, this case is highly suspicious for various reasons, but one thing that never sits right with me is the disappearance of Candace's missing sister. So, Brandon, that's a great point to bring up, because I had literally just, I think it was Brandon, who had just brought up Candace's sister being missing. This is the next thing I was going to talk about. This person goes on to say, I've been following this case since the beginning, and in the beginning there was a Facebook profile that was named Candace Wells with no profile picture, literally nothing. However, there was a single public post saying, quote, I miss my sister Rosemarie Bly, which I recall was posted in 2014. Now, when you look this account up, that post is gone. I find it odd due to the fact that Candace has many posts on Facebook and many accounts which she doesn't seem to remember the password for, which has led to her making new accounts. Although, who would log into that account to delete the status? I couldn't see it being Candace, but someone who fears the connection may link back. I'm not sure how the laws work over there, but what I do know is if they're going to continue to investigate this case, they will need to continue to investigate the disappearance of her sister. In my opinion, these two cases are related and have the same connection. Either that be a close family friend or someone who is involved with that family. So I don't know if I agree with the person entirely to the point where these two things are directly connected. But I know there's a lot of people that believe that Candace had something to do with Rosemarie Bly's disappearance. Angela says the same thing. I think Candace is behind Rose's disappearance. You're not the only one who has said that. I think Candace even joked or talked about being the one that killed her or something. I don't know who she said that to, but she had said that on somebody's podcast or YouTube channel. She was super upset and said something along those lines. So it's super weird. Beverly says, before Summer got gone, Bly posted, I'll get rid of you and help look for you. What? Huh. Interesting. All right, I got to fill my water up. Bear with me for one moment. I think it's going to play an ad in a second. 1 second. I don't know. Hold on. Here. Okay. I'm back. I don't know if that played an ad for you guys. Probably for the replay crew. That just inserted an ad, but I'm not sure about you guys. Lisa says, my thoughts in the beginning, Summer was sexually abused. Okay, Lisa, that is without a doubt, that happened 100%. I have no doubt in my mind that that was happening, as hard as it is to think about. That was happening with Don Wells, 100%. Marla, so nice to have you back and in your new place. Thank you, Marla. It's very bland behind me. I do want to figure out what the background of the new setup will be. But as of right now, it's my little plant, Oliver. Oliver Winston is his name. And he will go back there on the floor for the time being until I get a stand for him. Candace has always been unstable and jealous. I think Candace has some sort of jealousy thing with Rose and her mom and with Summer and Dawn. Interesting. We all have to admit that chances of having 2 kidnappings in the same family are very low. Yeah, I completely agree. If we go back to that Reddit page, though, real quick, and go to some of the comments, let's just read a couple. This person says, I can't say the 2 missing girls relate back to the exact same person, but the family dynamics are so disjointed, cruel, lax with regard to childcare, abuse towards women, disregard of female members, domination by unstable males. There's a blatant drug abuse, alcohol abuse, sexual abuse weaved through the entirety of both families, and all of it leads to heighten the danger zone for female members. Summer being missing is the culmination of those facts, sadly. So that is a really interesting point, and it's kind of what we were just getting into by me saying I don't necessarily think it goes back to the exact person, but it's definitely part of the connection of all the people. This person says the dynamics are a breeding ground for what has occurred, sadly. And then if we go to this here, this person is talking about the Dr. Phil episode. We're going to skip that. Came across this as well. Someone might come forward. Summer Wells reward donor wants fund kept alive. Let's just read through this for a second. This is from July 11th. It says, one contributor to the Summer Wells Reward Fund told the Review last week she will participate in a recently filed lawsuit and asked the chancellor to keep the reward active. If that's not possible, however, the Southern Indiana woman said she'd like to have her $100 contribution awarded to the Awakened Ministry. Wait, so this is somebody that's just contributed $100 to the... Huh. I mean, we could contribute to that as well. How many... I don't know how that works with like public contributions to rewards. If you can just like do $100 increments, like we could for sure do a contribution on behalf of the channel or something. Anyways, so she's saying she would like to have her $100 contribution awarded to the Awakened Ministry, which has held weekly prayer vigils for Summer since she went missing 13 months ago. Shortly after Summer's disappearance, the Churchill Rescue Squad agreed to manage a reward fund that was started to encourage tips that could lead to Summer's recovery. A bank account was opened and more than $75,000 contributed, although $35,000 of that has since been returned to two contributors in the form of checks for $25,000 and $10,000. So it sounds like of the church, there was two people that donated together amongst the two 35,000 of the 75,000, which is pretty wild. Through its lawsuit, the CHRS is asking Chancery Court to remove CHRS's responsibility and liability from the more than $40,000 remaining in the bank account. The lawsuit also calls upon contributors and anyone else with a claim on the funds to appear in court and make their own case. The lawsuit also asks that the court run an advertisement in the Review for 4 consecutive weeks to ensure ample public notice to be given to potential donors and claimants. As a donor, I honestly hope they just leave the reward in place and in hopes that someone will eventually come forward. I wish we could get the YouTube chaos and all the people who think they're investigators to stop. I feel like they're putting a lot of fear into people who may possibly come forward with their shenanigans. Barb, I completely agree. Vicky, Juicy Juleps, yes, and that is grooming behavior by Candace, I suspect. What did Juicy say? Giving underage liquor and smokes and neglect kids and pets. Yeah, it's just a bad situation, you guys. It's a bad situation overall. Don admitted to SA of his 5-year-old sister. I know he says she initiated it at 5. Yeah, Barb, that is what I was referring to when I said I have no doubt that the abuse has continued in his current family situation, with the situation around his sister. It's absolutely disgusting. And the fact that Don Wells said he was in a place where children were being sold when he was in California is just beyond disturbing. Because I don't know anyone else who's ever just been at a place where children were sold and casually said that in a conversation. After the past week, be very wary of where your donations are going. Oh, what happened in the past week, Linda? How old are the other children? I'd like to hear their life with Candace and Don. I'm not quite sure, Coffee Buzz. The other children, are you talking about from the previous relationships? That's a good point. I'm not quite sure. Also, guys, 19 more likes until we hit 200. 18 more. Someone just hit it as I was saying it, so thank you. Let's get to 200 likes. That would be amazing. All right. Anyways, so what is this? This is, I think, about the letter. All right, let's click this real quick and watch this.
Girl who disappeared more than a year ago was added to the family's website. FindSummerWells.com posted the message from Don Wells to an unknown person or people. Reporter Nikhil Smith has more.
It was a letter written from behind bars where Don Wells continues to be after his arrest on a DUI charge, which violated his probation on a previous charge. A letter to the person or persons responsible for the kidnapping of his daughter, Summer. The 5-year-old girl disappeared from their Hawkins County home in June of 2021. Don Wells and his wife, Candace, have been very public about their search for Summer, though as the months go by, they've expressed worry about ever getting a resolution to their heartbreak.
Well, I wonder if I'll ever see her again, yeah. I mean, I don't want to lose hope, but yeah, I guess I am.
Oh no. Internet issues. Okay. Let me, hopefully the stream isn't crashing. By the way, guys, my new internet at this new apartment is not nearly as fast as prior internet speeds that I've had, and it's very unfortunate. But hopefully we will
Thank
push
you,
on.
Bo. At 1 minute after.
Yeah, I guess, I guess I am losing hope that I'll ever see her again. But yeah, I pray for her all the time.
In the letter, Don Wells talks about the lives ruined from Summer's parents to her brothers. He says the person has also touched everything, including their chance for employment. He says he doesn't know if he'll ever find a job after being fired from the one he had for 13 years, and Summer's mother, Candace, can't get anyone to hire her. The handwritten letter goes on to beg the kidnappers to give their little girl back before God's wrath descends on them, adding, one day, God will hold you accountable for this crime unless you do something to make this right. Please do the right thing and turn our daughter over to the authorities. It ends with the line, we're begging you with all our hearts, please do the right thing. Summer's father.
Yeah, so I mean, once again, the fact that Don is talking about his job being taken away from all of this, like, no. That was on you, buddy. That was on you. Patricia, no, they're not looking, never had, because they know where she is. I think you're referring to the parents. Yeah, I don't think the parents were ever fully looking. Also, Cindy, no, there's no one else at the house with Candace in terms of the kids. And it sounds like I said a bit ago, Grandma is also out of there. So I don't know where Grandma went, but apparently that the trailer that Grandma was staying in is gone. Okay, let's see. I can bet you $100 that letter was written by a woman, not even a man. Yeah, I don't believe that was written by Don. I don't buy that, but I think he probably was speaking and saying what he wanted them to say, but I don't think he wrote it. Shake and Bake 420 says Don is 57 and his ex-wife is 71. So Don divorced ex-wife to marry someone 14 years younger than him. I don't buy it. I see this case a different way. Excuse me. Kayla Ann, what is your latest theory? Oh my goodness. It's I'm just now diving back into this to have like a full-on theory. But I will say I think deep down, I think that the connection with Jody Sue isn't insignificant. I think there's some significance there, and I think what was going on with Andy, this drug dealer, who's this Billy guy? Who is Billy that Hunter's referring to? He's saying that Billy was on the property trying to touch the kids, and that Billy's this old drunk that had the hots for Grandma. I think there's a lot of people in this that I think in the end will have some actual significance in the overall story, because I think there probably was a guy named Billy creeping around the property trying to touch the kids. It sounds like Don was trying to do that too. You've got people like Andy and Jody Sue who kind of have their hands in this entire thing. And I think that possibly they were more intertwined with the inner workings of what was going on at the Wells property. I think that drugs were being done and sold out of that part of the hauler, and I think that Jody Sue was aware of way more than what she's let on. I obviously think that Candace, Grandma, and Don are way more aware of what went on, and whether or not Summer had an accident at the swimming hole or something else that led to her dying and then them covering it, or there was some sort of a trade. You also have Don's sister talking to Chris from the interview room like a month and a half to 2 months ago, talking about Don wanting to sell one of his kids in Utah for drug money. So it's like this behavior has happened already with Don, and I wouldn't put it past him to do it again. So it's like, I don't know what my theory is. I just think that the whole thing is a tragedy, an absolute tragedy, and I don't know what to make of it at all. But I think there's too many people that are connected in a way that maybe doesn't make them guilty, but connected in a way that makes them a part of the overall thing. Like giving drugs to minors, like what Jody Sue was saying that Andy was doing, and all these people. Like, I think there's a lot, even with what Jose was saying, when Jose was talking about what was going on that property, he was not saying everything that was happening. He said that people were drinking and smoking cigarettes on the property. And I'm like, yeah, right. You left some stuff out. And so I think that a lot is being left out by a lot of people that are connected to this, and everyone's backing themselves into their own corner to make sure that they're not going to be at fault for anything when it all comes down to it at the end. But I think that I think we're gonna have some answers soon. I think Don getting out of jail, whenever that will actually end up being. Is it in August? I think he's maybe out in August. Someone was saying he's not going to be able to drive. But I think when Don gets out of jail, this whole case, I give it like 6 weeks before the case is like hitting a new level of people talking and people defending themselves in a way that hasn't happened before. Because Candace has said a lot about Don while he's been sitting in jail, and I think the moment he gets out and has a strong enough internet connection to look through all these videos that people are going to eventually send him, it's going to hit the fan. Everything's going to hit the fan. TD, sorry to talk to text on the spelling of your name. TD, no worries. Yep, Alexa, I think so too. I think the letter may have been written with his lawyer's advice. Eventually, it will legally come down to Don's story versus Candace's story when this all gets solved. That's an interesting point. Crazy Prepper Linda. Thank you for your input there. Also, for those that are just joining, I see a few more people joining. If you guys want to contribute to the conversation on Google Voice, I have a Google Voice number. Feel free to call it. It is the pinned comment. It is 305-985-2690. I'll put that in the chat once again, 305-985-2690. Can you try calling that? Actually, I can try my phone. I want to make sure, since we're not in our old location, that this number still works. 305-985-2690. I'm calling it myself. Aaron. Oh, thank you. All right, okay, it's ringing. Okay, it works. I was making sure the Google Voice thing works. Don can take his letter and put it where the sun doesn't shine. Coffee Buzz coming in hot. Coffee Buzz. Barb, can a female have a junior? I mean, you could name somebody. Yeah, I guess you could, right? Females could be juniors. I don't know. I've never heard of that, though. They need to dig up that flower bed. Why was it so important to suddenly plant flowers in that mess of a yard/house? Yeah, I don't know that there was ever really a flower bed, though. They just had those flower pots next to the trailer. I think that the flower thing was just part of the story because they were able to quickly make it part of the story because it was in their yard. Amy says, did they ever check the flower bed? I'm not sure that there was a proper flower bed. I will say, though, they should absolutely dig up that yard because they haven't really turned that house upside down that I'm aware of. And if you guys know the Harmony Montgomery case, way back in January when that case took off, they, in the middle of the frozen winter, they heated the lawn of Harmony Montgomery's last known location, the house that she last lived at, and they dug up that yard. So they had every reason to believe that something foul play could have been involved in Harmony's disappearance, and they dug that yard up. Why have they not dug up the entire property at 110 Ben Hill Road? I don't understand that. I know you have to get legal rights and access to do so, but it's a bit weird to me they haven't gone that far yet. Vicky, exactly. It wasn't really a flower bed. It was just a couple pots with cactus. Yeah, Rona, it was Cactus. Barb, I hate to agree with you, but I think that is a possibility. At the end of the day, she was in Candace's care. She is at the very least neglectful, if not quite outright guilty of what we don't know. Deborah, I completely agree. Completely agree. So yeah, it doesn't look like Candace has, excuse me, has posted. It's been a while. Someone was talking about looking up Andy's videos. Linda says that's 11 acres. Yeah, I guess I'm not saying dig up the entire 11 acres, but you know, it's a start, right? Go around the house. Here, one sec. 110 Ben Hill Road. All right. Mama Swindle, how much have I missed? Probably a lot. I mean, we've really just kind of been getting back into it. We've been going an hour and 20 minutes at this point. One thing I talked about at the beginning was the yellow Nissan Xterra that Jody Sue was next to in a video, and that it was in the back of the red barrel for sale sign video that Candace posted on her TikTok a while back. And then since then, we've just kind of been catching up. You haven't really missed a whole lot, to be quite honest. We're not breaking any new information. We're just kind of talking about the case as a whole because it's been a while. And now we have a caller. We finally have a caller. So let's see who's chatting.
Call from April C.
All right,
to accept,
April
press
calling.
1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, April, how's it going?
Hi, Aaron. This is April C. from Florida. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for calling in. How are you?
Good. I just wanted to say thank you because it was your video that helped me figure out that DW wasn't at work on June 15th. And without your video, I would have never figured it out.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm trying to think what video that was, but yeah.
Okay. Well, I was watching an interview with DW on Voices Behind the Wall, and he states in that interview that he recorded an accident at 3 o'clock in the morning. And my mother always told me that nothing good ever happened after midnight.
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, I wonder what DW was doing out at 3 o'clock in the morning. So you can imagine my surprise when I find the pictures later on Nana's Angels. She has the pictures that DW took of that accident. And it's of a red truck, and it has the four-wheeler, and everything that he talked about in the interview with Cher. And I was like, this is daylight. This isn't 3 o'clock in the morning. These pictures are daylight. Why would he lie about that? And then I happened the very next day to see your video, which helped me piece it all together. Your episode is called Audio I Never Heard Before on June 15th.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So if you take Nana's white truck episode with the pictures of DW recording the accident, and you take your episode of Audio I Never Heard on June 15th, and in that video, it says that it was called in between 11:15 a.m. and 11:45 a.m. And so I went back to another site that actually keeps all the police dispatch calls and actually verified that that was the date and time of the call that came in, and it was in the afternoon of June 15th.
Oh, wow.
So without your help and without your video, I would have never figured out that DW was in his white work truck at the bottom of his driveway recording that accident on June 15th.
Wow.
And you can see it's DW, and you can see he's in the white work truck because if you look on Nana's Angels in the pictures, not the rear view mirror, but if you look in the side view mirror, you can clearly see DW and his white work truck that he's in.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
So
thanks for
you
pointing
helped
that
me
out.
figure out that DW was not at work on June 15th.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, yeah, I think a lot of people probably aren't believing that he was at work. I don't know. I just don't believe a lot of what was being said about his whereabouts that day. Highly suspicious of it overall, but yeah, that's an interesting thing. You pieced that together too, it sounds like. So solid job there.
Well, not only that, I went back a little farther. When they originally had uploaded that very first swimming hole video, I had checked the metadata on it, and it had showed June 4th. Well, they deleted that video, but later it was re-uploaded with all the music and the changes, and that one, the metadata, is dated June 15th.
Oh, interesting.
But the original is without any changes to it, without any music or changes, is dated June 4th.
Huh. Interesting.
Yes, it is.
Wow. Yeah, because
So
I don't even know if.
Fun fact.
Yeah, that is a fun fact. Because is Candace's TikTok still available? I don't even know if it's.
I'm pretty sure they deleted it.
Yeah, I think it's
That's
gone.
not the only thing they deleted, though. Okay, when I was I happened to watch Dolly Vision, and I never researched this case before, but I would just go in there at nights when I couldn't sleep and just chat with everybody. And I'd heard them talk about this case for a long time, but I'd never deep dived it before. So finally, when I'd actually deep dived it, I didn't realize what I was looking at in the moment, but what I was looking at was 2 days after Summer went missing. Hunter is on, I can't remember if it was TikTok or Snap or where I seen it from, but he was actually destroying a phone and throwing it in a well. Well, at the time, I seriously did not think anything of it. I thought he was just a kid showing off for his friends, recording him destroying his phone and putting it in a well. Now, since I've actually deep dived the case, I actually realize what I was looking at, and now I can't find it. So I was going to ask you if you happen to had come across that in any of your searches.
I haven't yet. No, I have not.
Okay. I've been having trouble. I've been trying to go back and find that because nothing is ever truly erased from the internet. It's out there.
Yeah, yeah.
I just have to find it.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And actually, I think I came across her TikTok now. I think this is hers, but I'm not entirely sure. I thought it was named something different. But anyways, it could have been someone re-uploading her old videos. I thought she had more than this that I'm seeing here. But
speaking of reloading, okay, she does it all the time. Okay, there's a famous 609 picture that's running out there. I can't exactly remember what the picture is right this second without my notes. But it's a 609 picture. And she states that, it was on the day that Summer went missing. She states that she didn't have internet, and when she came in service, that's why the picture uploaded at 609. She wasn't really uploading pictures on her Facebook. However, she originally loaded that picture at 606. It was deleted and re-uploaded at 609. And that's why you can find versions of 606 and 609 online. Not only can you find that, but there's an hour time difference on each of them too. But that's where someone saved it on their computer and they happen to be in a different time zone. But the 606 part, or the 06 part and the 09 part doesn't change.
okay.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So there's two versions of that. And speaking, it was actually you that helped me figure out that there's two videos and two pictures of the milk in the back seat.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
happen to show on your video where the 3 finger spaces between her fingers. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. That video started to get a bit more traction in the last few weeks. A lot of people are seeing that one now. I don't know what it kind of sparked again, but yeah, a lot of people
I've
have
been
noticed
talking
that.
about it for a while. I bought a very expensive computer program, and I said if I'd have just watched your video first, you would have saved me a lot of money.
Oh man, well, it sounds like you're pretty solid at all this, so you should
but you can
keep it
find
up.
both versions. That was my point too. I'm sorry. You can find both versions. You can find a full video with the finger gap, and you can find a full video without the finger gap. You can also find a picture with finger gap and another picture without finger gap. So there's
Interesting.
definitely 2 videos and 2 pictures of the milk that day for sure.
Uh-huh.
Now that is the only one I have not been able to check the metadata on, because when it was uploaded, it wasn't uploaded through her, it was uploaded through someone else, and that's not how metadata works. I can't do it that way. That's not how it works.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I went to Georgia Tech for computer science. So I know how to check metadata, and it's actually really easy. It's just done in seconds, and most people use a conversion site, and you can just type in the numbers, and it gives you the exact date.
Yeah.
I mean, it really, truly does not take a rocket scientist to figure out how to do it. You just have to know how. And since then, of course, she's deleted all that content, so you can't go back and recheck it, because if it's ever uploaded again, it'll have different dates.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Pretty crazy though, but like you said, nothing's ever fully gone. So as long as you go back, you can maybe find when something was posted and deleted, just to see like if it was deleted. There's reason for that too. So, but that's solid points. I appreciate you calling in, April. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Aaron.
And
thank
we'll
you. I just
see you in the next one.
Thank you for your help.
Absolutely. Thanks
Bye-bye.
again. Yeah. See ya.
Mm-hmm.
So that was April. April seems to know a lot, and I appreciate her calling in. She said she saw the video about Don not being at work. She also referenced this video here, the video with the different photos that I'm showing and the different gaps between Summer's hand. And I may play a little bit of this while I run to get some more water. I do want to say thanks to Candace West for the $2 super sticker. Thank you so much, or the super chat. Appreciate it, Candace. Thank you. And let me read a couple comments before I play this video. Alex says, I don't think Hunter was directly involved or involved directly. I think I agree with you. I don't think directly involved, but clearly involved to some degree, being there, being a part of the day. A lot of people think that Hunter was playing too rough with Summer, and genuinely there was a situation where the drowning occurred, and the story of him coming around the corner and seeing her underwater is a fabricated story. So I'm not entirely sure what's true there, but there's just so many things about this case that we kind of forget. And one of those is the fact that Hunter claims to have seen Summer under the water for an amount of time that he can't really even put his finger on. So it's like, what happened? Did she actually kind of dry drown? Who knows? 326 people in here, 241 likes. Let's try to get to 300 likes while I go fill up my water. I'm going to play this video. If you have seen this video, I apologize. I'm going to play part of this video until I get back. So you're going to hear and see me from like 2 months ago. So it's going to be a little inception, because this video was from back in Miami. Colin, good to see you. Haley's back. I am still live, Haley. We're going through it. We're catching up on things. I'm going to play this little quick video while I go get some more water and take a bit of a break for my voice. So I apologize for leaving and playing this if you've seen it already. But for those who haven't, here you go. Or this photo, especially if it's a zoomed in version and you're not seeing the edge of the phone up here, it may appear to look like it's peering through the window. But I just want to clear that up. I by no means think there was a single photo, at least that is released, that was taken of Summer, or a video from outside the car. So I'm going to be kind of commentating what I'm talking about throughout this. But basically, I took that first photo and paired it with the actual photo that I think was the photo on the phone. Okay, so like this right here is obviously the photo that was first released by Hawkins County Rescue Squad. I believe that the photo that was on that phone that the person took a photo of was this photo here. So I went ahead and lined the images up, and I used the opacity to kind of cycle between each of them. And everything seemed to be, aside from the kind of angle, because in this first photo of the phone, we're seeing kind of the image at an angle, so it's slightly skewed. But other than that, this image, everything pretty much lines up perfectly with the actual image that was released later on. So I believe that that's the image that was on the phone. Once again, this is another screenshot that has gone around. So I went ahead and lined it up right here. And so this is just another angle of that photo, but it lines up pretty much perfectly here as well. You can see me kind of stacking them. And then one thing that I wanted to do was go ahead and link it up with another image to triple check that a lot of the photos that we're seeing are photos that match when lined up. There's just so many different screen grabs. The last thing, or the next thing I want to mention, is this red thing in the background. I believe that this is, and I know a lot of people believe that this is a red tote of some sort. Obviously, the tote that I'm showing here is just kind of a PNG overlaid image. So it's not at the exact same angle. So like we're seeing the top of the lid here. And then of course there's tons of spots on the window as well. And people are sending me so many things about seeing reflections of people or faces. I'm going to be honest, I'm not seeing any of what people are sending me. People are sending me countless messages and emails circling things in the background of this photo, claiming that it appears to be grandma in the reflection or the person taking the photo or whatever it is. I'm not seeing that. If we go to the video, the red tote doesn't appear to look the same in the video. So whatever this is in the back maybe was shifted or moved and is now less in focus. But let me know what you guys think down below. I do not think that this is an arm. This looks like a piece of wood behind the seat. And of course, this is a box here. A lot of people thought for a while this looks like an arm of somebody resting behind the seat. I don't think that. What we have with the video, and I'm going to compare and show you guys why I'm almost 100% sure that the photos that we just looked at and lined up are not stills from the video that we're seeing now. If we line this photo up next to the video, look at her fingers. This is a screen grab right here of the first frame of the video of Summer in the back seat. Her fingers appear to almost overlap her pink hoodie. And the photo, her hand appears to be several inches down away from her hoodie. So on the right side of the screen now, and I'll make myself a little bit smaller here, even though it's not super in the way. This is the photo, the first known photo that was released, like I said, that was taken of the phone. There's a gap, a substantial gap, like a 3-inch, maybe 4-inch gap between her fingers and the edge of her jacket. And then the first frame of the video, it's very obvious and clear. There's not a single frame in the video of Summer Wells, which like I said is here on the left, that shows her hand moved down below, further away from her jacket. The photos are taken separately, and why that's important is multiple photos were taken of Summer Wells that day and a video. Why they were taking photos of Summer and then felt the need to take also a video on the way back home is beyond me. It's not just because her hands were up like Dawn would sleep. I don't buy. Okay, so I was getting into the fact that I don't buy that at all. Future me, current me, Aaron here again. Thanks for watching that video. If you haven't seen that full video and you'd like to see it, Amy was referring to that video as well as some of my others. I have a Summer Wells playlist on my channel. Feel free to go to that and check that out. That video somehow in the last like 4 weeks has gotten like 70 or 80,000 views because it only had like 10,000 views at the beginning. So a lot of people have seen that video recently and have been sharing that video around. But I know that the story is that Grandma was trying to take a photo of Summer and she accidentally took a video. But the problem with that is that she also has a photo. So even if she started by taking a video on accident, she also then took a photo and she would have known her arms weren't up in that position. So why would she be taking another photo? Anyways, I could go on and on about that whole thing. Mandy says, yeah, that's super weird. It's odd. It means more than one photo and video were taken. We have another caller. So let's get to this.
Call from
Doug Lane.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi. How are you?
Doing-
Doug Lane from Michigan. How are y'all?
I'm doing great.
I was just looking at some photos, and here's my question. So Candace, when she was on that video with I don't want to say names, but I'll just say Chris. She explained it like the little girl had her hands above her head, and that's why she wanted to take them pictures. But if you look at them photos, her arms are pinned under the milk jugs. How would that happen if she's asleep?
Right.
Or dead?
Yeah. That's a solid point, because it doesn't look like even if her hands were up and then they had just fallen down, you would think that they'd just be kind of resting on her legs. But you're right. They're like
the milk jug.
Yeah, or over almost like she's got her arm around one of the milk jugs. If her arm was just up, it's not like her arms would go down and then tuck underneath her legs like they are, to the sides of her legs. So that's a really good point. Yeah, I'm gonna pull that back up.
Because if you look at shoulders, like under the milk jugs, it's pinned under there. If you're a little kid and you're sleeping with your arms above your head, sorry, I'm moving while I'm talking.
You're okay.
You wouldn't, I have 4 kids. They slept in the car all the time.
Yeah,
and never have I seen them tuck their arms under anything. If they're like relaxed and they move, it's going to fall where they're at.
Yeah.
That don't make no sense.
Yeah, I do see that now. It is kind of tucked underneath, almost wedged behind that second milk carton. That's the lower milk carton. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It is super weird. The whole photos and all of that doesn't make sense to me. I really think that they were trying to get a photo of her seeming alive, or that's part of their story. I don't know.
Another thing is, all right, so I'm a paramedic by trade. I'm retired now.
Mm-hmm.
But 2 things. Now, they said that she had just gone swimming. I don't care if you're in a mud hole or not. If you're in water, your hands are going to be somewhat clean.
Right.
But if you look at that photo, she either got really dirty fingernails or she's not getting circulation to her fingers, and her fingernails are turning blue.
Gotcha. Yeah, I haven't been able to weigh in as much in terms of the actual, like, what happens kind of thing. I mean, obviously I've heard that will start to happen. The beds of your fingernails will start to turn blue, those kinds of things. I'm just not seeing a high enough quality photo to know whether or not that's just shadowing happening naturally, or
Well, that's why I mentioned it could be dirt.
Right.
She could have been
dirt. Yeah.
Or she's not getting circulation. Them are my 2 weigh-ins on that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, she was in Candace's care, and I said that a little while ago.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, she was in the mother's care, and I've seen all the videos right up to the one where Don got arrested on the air. It was great. Well, at the end of the day, she was a neglectful mom. She didn't care. I've not seen her lift a finger to actually go out and look for the kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She's not adding up here. I'm a mom, and my kid went missing. It was the worst 6 hours of my life.
Oh, my gosh.
He was hiding from me. He was hiding from me. He was mad at me, but, I had half of the city here looking. I was out looking. Family was out looking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this don't make no sense.
Yeah.
You wrote her off that same day?
Yeah, the behavior doesn't add up at all. Yeah. And it seems like and I don't know, you said you've been following for a while, like the picture that they were trying to paint themselves as at the beginning was so different than I feel like what they actually were, with these, like, they were church going people, and they just I don't know, I guess they did go to this church. I mean, that was reported, obviously. It's not like they had just started going after Summer went missing, but I feel like they were really trying to paint themselves a certain way because this got the public attention right away, so much public attention. And then I feel like that's just been lost now. I don't know.
That's what I said, like, earlier. At the very least, she's guilty of being a neglectful mother and not watching her child.
Mm-hmm.
or she's outright guilty of doing something, criminal of what we don't know.
Right.
But it's obvious, the kid has been gone for over a year now. We can almost assume that she's probably either out of the country or dead because she would have been found. You can't keep a child down that long, quiet that long. And I said the same thing about Tylee and JJ. Yep, they're going to find him. And I'd be looking in his backyard, and that's exactly where they found him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's weird. They haven't really... I don't know what it is with Hawkins County. Like, it doesn't seem like they've turned that place upside down. I know it's a big, relatively large property, but you would think that they would have conducted more high-level searches at the property. If they don't have any reason to believe she was abducted, and, everyone at this point in that Beach Creek area is a suspect, according to law enforcement, then why not start turning everyone's backyards upside down, I don't know.
Exactly, and I would be starting with septic tanks because what's in the septic tank? Human decay, and a dog is not going to smell it. I don't care what anybody says. And if you think back to that case in Florida where the girl went missing, the dogs were out looking for her. She was 150 feet from the house.
Mm.
And they said, oh, yeah, the dogs missed her. Yeah, the dogs missed her. So who's to say the dogs couldn't have missed a little girl lost, You know what I'm saying? Or
Absolutely.
if she was hidden. That's where I would start. And then I would start dragging all the bodies of water within a 10 to 15-mile radius from there because she took off.
Mm-hmm.
She left the property. Where did she go?
Mm-hmm.
She said she went down the holler. What's down there? Is there a creek? Is there a lake? Is there a bridge? What's over there? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I'd be looking every bodies of water, septic tanks, and wells.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you make a great point, and I appreciate you calling in to reiterate it. So, is there anything else? Do you have like an overall theory as of right now where it stands? End of July 2022.
My theory about what happened, and this is just my opinion, I think that Candace, in a drunken rage or a stupor, any kind of drug, because they do them all. I think Summer made her mad. She smacked her, and she got hurt, and she finished the job because she got afraid that protective services would come and take the rest of the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So what better way to cover it up than my kid was kidnapped?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think a lot of people share a similar thought there as to what may have gone down. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens when Dawn gets out of jail, because I think something's gonna give, for sure.
I think you're right. And I think them pointing fingers at each other, and I've seen Candace's on-air stuff, and I've seen his on-air stuff. And for a while, I just stopped watching because it just became a whole crap show, of YouTubers fighting over the Summer Wells case. I'm like, I can't even watch this. This isn't even about the child anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what happened to the kid.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't think they thought when they, that it was going to get that much attention. But, I mean, think about it, and it's always been that way. And I don't mean to sound, racist or anything, but cute little white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl goes missing, everybody's going to jump on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think they didn't expect it to get this much attention. And it's not like, I think, this was bound to get the attention because of just the cast of characters surrounding it. I think since, there's other cases that people hear about and follow and then maybe stop following it because there's just not enough to keep talking about. But there's just so many characters that seem to be inserting themselves, or they seem to be connected in some way or another. And so there's just so much to talk about with this. And it becomes to feel like a lot of noise, and it does turn into drama, it seems like, at points, because it's like, what is real and what's not? Is this person actually connected? Are they not? And then, it gets to this point where you forget that a 5-year-old went missing, and then you just got a bunch of people arguing about things that maybe aren't connected at all. So I don't know.
Exactly.
It's a mess. It's a mess for sure. So hopefully we can stay focused on at least continuing to stream about Summer maybe once every couple of weeks and just chime back in and keep her name in kind of the circulation of YouTube algorithm stuff. And then
Oh, I
Yeah.
absolutely agree. I think her name should stay out there until we know one way,
Right.
definitively what happened. But I just, for a minute there, I look at updates. Is there anything new coming up in the Summer Wells case? But there's a lot of kids out there that didn't get any attention.
Mm-hmm.
I know of a few of them. One of them is personally, I knew kind of personal, the Roman Lopez case out of Placerville, California.
I didn't even hear about that
He
one.
was killed within weeks of exactly. Nobody knows about it, but
Mhm.
he was killed within a couple of weeks of Gannon's stout.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm just looking this one up on another. It's just the problem is there's too many of these cases, right? There's so many that are so localized to certain areas, and people may not hear about them until it's completely solved or just almost forgotten about, and then you come across it. And so, yeah, there's a lot for sure. But
Right.
I appreciate you calling in, and I'm going to be wrapping up the stream soon, so maybe I'll take one more call after you, but thanks again for calling.
All right. Well, thanks for letting me say my piece. Y'all have a good night. Take care of yourselves and stay safe.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Bye. So we have this going in the background. This is from the prayer vigil. There's a lot going on here. Pretty intense, this prayer vigil. But I don't see anyone from the family. It's crazy that not even, grandma wouldn't even show up to this. The whole family's just strange to me. So strange. April, I disagree so much. No one has talked about. No one is talking about DWB at the bottom of the driveway. Okay. We'll take one more call here. I think we'll take one more call here.
Call from Amy. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, Amy, how's it going?
Hi, I haven't spoken to you in a while.
It's been a while.
I have a lot. I'm not such an expert with everybody's saying, but the timeline and all these fine details, that's not really my forte with talking about this case. But, my opinion is the fact of the matter with that letter you were discussing earlier.
Yeah.
I just think it's a total deflection of a narrative.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a bunch of bunk, what was written. And I think it's just a way to get the heat off of them and just make us look here and not look there,
Absolutely, yeah.
It's a deflection and a distraction. The second thing is that the biggest mistake this county made was not really doing the proper interrogation in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
They had the wrong people in there. They should have kept them in there and it separately and kept bringing them in there to break them, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
This was done absolutely incorrectly because, Candace would have broken if they had kept her there to interrogate her.
Mm-hmm.
The third thing about them not searching is they say this county is broke, that they don't have the money to do all of this, and that they don't. So just my opinion. This is my opinion. If they're broke and they don't have resources, why don't you ask the state for some help? Where's the governor? Where's the attorney general? Like where I grew up, they abolished these county systems. Like they got rid of the county form of government and made because not one county should have a different level of protection than another county. If they need help, maybe another surrounding county can absorb them and bring in resources that they need to protect their citizens. It's not fair that that county isn't getting the proper protection and investigations that other counties may get. And I don't know where Governor Bill Lee is. What are they doing? I don't get it. And I just think this whole thing, these as you say, the cast of characters, they need to just be quiet now. They need to just start at the beginning, and the biggest mistake was them not even bringing these people in there and having a proper interrogation.
Yeah.
This would have been solved already.
I really
Seriously.
agree. Yeah, I agree with you on the whole beginning stages, absolutely putting the right people in separate rooms and using their techniques and because they're able to kind of lie and not necessarily lie, but I mean they kind of are able to twist the truth a little bit to get people to say certain things. If you say, I got someone in the other room talking about this, you're going to get people to slip up. And I think that they didn't even do that at all.
If you brought in a real seasoned NYPD detective that worked big cases in the Bronx or Brooklyn or whatever, or a couple of those guys from New York, they would have gotten this thing solved in the first week.
Yeah.
They would have had them fessing up to the whole thing, And then the other thing that there was another also, if you wanted to look up, there was another footage for another vigil that they had. It was not only where you're showing at the the Warriors Park, the one you're showing.
Oh, right.
Another creator did one at the sheriff's office, which was a very nice one too. If you wanted to look at that one, I don't know if it's I don't know. I'm not going to say the creator's name, but there was another one done that day by the person that interviewed Jose, the first Jose interview.
Okay, yeah.
He was there and he videotaped. If you were interested, if you missed that one, but I just think that this is so convoluted. It's like a soap opera. It's so ridiculous that this is still going on right now, and I really think that letter was to deflect because of certain issues with the CPS cases that were going on. So I don't know. That's all I have to say, and good luck with the new place.
Oh, thank you so much. It's good.
Very hard to move. Take care.
Yeah,
now.
absolutely. Good to talk to you, Amy. Yeah, talk soon. Bye. Always good to speak with Amy. I think she has a solid point about this thing, possibly, and only hindsight will tell us how poorly this was handled from the law enforcement's perspective. When this is all said and done, we'll be able to look back and see what did go wrong, why did it take this long, so on and so forth. We have another caller. I was going to only do one more, but we may as well take this.
Call from.
I'm John.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, John, how's it going?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can, yes.
I'd just like to say that you're like looking at this case through your like white lens and like through a white person's like eyes and a white person's lens, and I feel like you need to do like a little
Gonna go ahead and hang up on John there. He was just giggling, trying to get out what he was trying to say there. Not quite sure what you were trying to say there, buddy. I like how he also called without showing his number, so he was trolling from the get-go. I could tell he was going to be trolling from the get-go. Those children should never have been in that house in the first place. Yeah, I agree, Coffee. April, so nice to have you. Approximate time. Let's see. Also, Amy was referring to Justice for All's video here, the vigil, I assume. Yeah, anyways. Next caller. I was going to give him a chance. I was like, is he trying to say something? Is he trying to say something rational here? And I could tell the way he was laughing. I was like, this guy's trolling. Anyways, okay, so I should have stuck to my guns of ending the calls when I said I would, which was after Amy's call, but I have now officially ended the calls. So thank you to the 3 people that called, to the 4th person that called. Thanks for trying to troll. It was fun. But yeah, none of that here on the channel. Start your own channel. Have fun with the trolling on your own channel. Alex says, white lens? Aren't the Wells white? Yeah, I mean, I'm also just white, so I guess I am looking through my own lens, but I'm not putting any particular filter on my lens to be looking at it in a specific way. But yeah, anyways, Beverly, no, bro. Cheryl, no. Michelle, question mark. Aaron, isn't there a cemetery very close to the Wells home? Diane, there is a cemetery very close to the Wells' home. In fact, it's right across the street. So actually, if you look, the Wells' property is right here. And let me get rid of those. And then the cemetery is Morrison Cemetery, which is right here. So it is literally, as the crow flies, like 559 feet to the edge of the cemetery from the center of the Wells property. So it's very close. It's very close. Next time, I'd love to call and share a perspective on Sweet Summer's case. Birdie, I can open the line back up for you, Birdie, if you want me to. Angela, also, I agree with that. I wasn't going to say that, but I completely agree. But you know what? I'm actually I just now noticed we're at the 2-hour mark of the stream, and I don't want to stream for too many hours tonight, even though it's been good to catch up with you all. If you guys could all do me a favor, we're 4 likes away from hitting 300 likes. So if you could do that, that would be amazing. Also, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. If you want to join the crew, we just hit 24,700, so that's very cool. We're on our way to 25,000, a quarter of the way to 100,000. So feel free to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Alex says we need to do a road trip to Tennessee. I'm so much closer to Tennessee now in my current location. I do plan on taking a road trip there to check out the lay of the land at some point. I will be doing that solo, though, and I will not be letting people know when I'm going. But that will be happening. I will be also taking somewhat of another hiatus from streaming. So I apologize. I just got back, and now I'm going to be taking a little bit more of a hiatus to continue working on the documentary, and I have a couple of other projects going on. But I wanted to hop on and stream today to not only test out the internet at the new location, but also just check in with you guys and say, hey. But over the next few days, over the next week and a half, you can expect the Delphi phone calls to come out here on this channel. So if you follow the Delphi, Indiana case, this is big. It will be an interesting few videos that are going to come out in different segments, and it'll be like a series of 3 to 5 videos from a phone call that I had. So please stay on the lookout for that, and please share those videos when those come out, because people are going to be, I think, interested in what is said in those calls. 300 plus. Thanks, Steve. Yeah, thank you guys for getting the stream to over 300. Thank you guys for joining tonight. Let's see. Thank you. Thank you for jumping on, April. Alex, go to sleep. 4 a.m. Oh my gosh. Enjoy the rest of your vacation. Thank you for hopping on, Alex. Thank you so much to the mods. Angela for popping by as well. Angela's been in here the whole time, cracking jokes, sending dancing lemons. Thank you, Angela, for being here. Carol, Michelle Moore. Gosh, so many members. Joyce in the house. Thank you guys to the tier 2 members. Linda being the newest of tier 2 members. I will have to add your name, Linda, to the list. Thanks again to the tier 2s. And yeah, that's basically it. McBro, see you later. Alex, can't wait to hear about the Delphi. Yeah, looking forward to it. Well, stay on the lookout for that. Thank you guys for being here. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.